Hi friends, let me introduce myself. My name is Andi Aulia, but you can call me Aulia. I'm 18 years old and I'm studying at EIN Boni, Faculty of Sharia and Islamic Law. Majoring is Islamic Economic Law. In this video, I will discuss an article about the impact of Islamic economic law on financial regulation, evidence from the Indonesia dual financial system. The global financial landscape continues to evolve, driven by growing demand for ethical, transparent, and inclusive system. In this context, Indonesia presents a Tugas as the world's largest Muslim majority country with a dual financial system where Islamic and conventional financial institutions operate side by side. As shown in Table 1, this Table 1 at how Islamic finance has shown a stronger growth momentum with an annual growth rate of 10% compared to 5% in the comparison sector. The sector still lags significantly in terms of overall market dominance. Despite this promising development, the expansion of Islamic finance in Indonesia is not without challenge. One of the most pressing issues is regulatory fragmentation, as oversight is divided between the Financial Services Authority or OJK and the National Sharia Council Indonesia Ulema Council or DSN MUI. This dual authority often regulation is inconsistent regulation, overlapping measures and delays in product performance. Furthermore, public understanding of Islamic finance remains limited, with surveys indication that merely 16% of Indonesia have either learned about Sharia completed products. The misconception that Islamic finance is only for Muslims also limits its wider adoption, where structural and social constraints weaken the system's capacity to access its potential contribution to financial inclusion and economic development. Previous year has recognized Islamic finance contribution to financial stability, and this role promotion financial inclusion. Comparative study from countries such as Malaysia and the United Arab Emirates also highlights the effectiveness of controlled Sharia governments in strengthening regulatory consistency and market expansion. However, despite inside the specific regulatory domain within Indonesia, dual system remain underexplored. Existing domestic studies such as those by Plana et al. And trying to be described in natural and do not critically evaluate how regulation fragmentation affect the internal the integration of Islamic and conventional finance, nor do they systematically link empirical findings to broader theory. To address this gap, the study aims to skillfully examine the impact of Islamic economic law on special regulation within Indonesia's dual financial system. It seeks to explain how Islamic presence includes regulation, tax, and transparency, assess the extent to which Islamic financial integration is financially inclusive, and analyze the opportunities and challenges arise from the ecosystem of Islamic and continental financial institutions. Literature reviews the theoretical foundation of this study integrated their main perspective. Marquis Al-Sharia, the dual financial system and financial inclusive theory. The first perspective, Marquis Al-Sharia, provides the normative foundation for ethics, the government's perspective in the financial system. According to Charles Al-Ghazali and Ahmad, the objective of Sharia implies the presentation of right in the financial domain. This transforms into the prohibition of riba, gharar, and maisir. In addition to promoting social justice and the equitable distribution of wealth through zakat and wakaf. The fees are grouped into streams and subcategories. The research results are balanced under tier. The main theme: number 1, ethical and regulatory transparency. Number 2, financial inclusion. And the operations and challenge of the dual financial system. Let's look. The things in that Islamic financial is regarded as more technical, particularly its term of country transparency regulation appears that discourse in stricter in Islamic countries cannot be measured by every cause. However, point to regulatory inclusive dual between the OJK and the DSN-MUI. Sometimes the daily products appraisal for months, which how the institution no analytically contrast this number with the their regulation. 14 times the transitory times occur the transparent. The coding matrix show that countries about regulatory theories were primarily researched by regulation and particulation. White academics because more on the theoretical underpinnings this operating system, the motivating power of Sharia in promotion ethnical, but also reveals that recognition pronunciation understanding its effective implementation compared with Malaysia, where contrary Sharia government minimizes the injustice dual apartment in Indonesia gratis and efficient. Data is showing that Islamic finance has grown significantly in terms of financial calculation, with Microsoft servants entering by 70 services between and one potential observation casual versus Islamic countries because they feel they are favored, unlike their peer language to the prowess and academic. Emphasized the literacy better surface in my class focused on modes of students not understand the difference between Sharia and continental to product. That's look. A particular signal, but a policy and challenge of an academic study. Competition between Islamic banks and commercial banks actually differ in innovation. We are grateful to contrary promise to our practitioner exalted in research. We often wait more for material approval. This hinders market players from innovating new product. Regulation occurred that mistaken price. Many people still think that Islamic banks are made only for Muslims. That's a big barrier for inclusion. Thank you, my friends. See you. Goodbye.